Hi there, and welcome to the Musing Live Show. With all the glitches in the techie world today, I decided to move the show over to YouTube for a bit, but now I'm going back over to Facebook. So reach out and let me know what your thoughts are. So punishments are so horrid, and I like to imagine only pleasant things, said Annie, cuddling Davy. There are so many unpleasant things in the world already that there is no use in imagining anymore. From the novel Annie of Green Gables. And if you are new, and I really hope you are, and if you continue to show up, which I wish that too, and I hope you do, welcome to my show. And I muse about all things in the world of energy, musing on different ideas regularly as well. And if you enjoy my show, please let me know by sharing or commenting so I can create muses that inspire and ignite the being within you. So that one sentence came up with the wonderful world created by Montgomery in that novel, and Shirley, and or a friend of a young girl and adopted by a stern old maid and her brother. She overcomes adversity and childhood pains to grow up, adored, smart, successful, and happy. But part of her secret was her intention to be happy and her wonderful imagination, which has most of the readers in tears and stitches for well over 100 years, which is totally fascinating. So the author, like her character Annie, grew up on Prince Edward Island, a relative's farm named Green Gables, inspired the settings she imagined in her own books. Today, the town of Cavendish hosts more of the tourists wanting to jump into that imaginary world from Annie Shirley's world and become a little more like our red-headed heroine, optimistic and, more importantly, full of happiness. So the mind is a powerful tool, and the way we focus our intention and our intentions can make or break our lives. But whatever we focus on actually expands and contracts. And the ideas that were once in Montgomery's mind alone developed into tangible elements as she expressed them in her words and even nourished them. Even though Annie of Green Gables is a fictional story, there is now an exciting village in Cavendish that depicts the town of Avalonia, the home to Annie, Matthew, Diana, Gilbert, Rachel, and so much more. Her thoughts actually became reality, and consequently, they went on to inspire others. Where Walt Disney, if you think about it, he's spread a similar kind of happiness through the world with the development of a myriad fictional characters that have become household names for most of us. But the imagination is not limited to fictional stories or characters. Many great inventors, writers, and leaders have changed the world by focusing on amazing ideas that have in turn enriched and blessed others, including ourselves. We each have agency over our thoughts, and we can see how she's both how and where to focus our energy. That focus typically defines our underlying intentions. Positive thoughts and good intentions tend to produce growth and healing, while negative thoughts and intentions tend to hurt and destroy. Take personal responsibility to use your power over your thoughts wisely and effectively. The truth is, if the fruits of your thoughts and intentions make you happier, healthier, and wiser, then why aren't you focusing your mind and your efforts in a good and positive direction? So if you're filled with fear and doubt and it becomes an emotional challenge to shift gears from negative thinking to positive thinking and to realign your attentions in a positive direction, but it's possible. Sometimes just a simple reminder of the following important truths can turn around a sour disposition. First, you have to have the power to change your focus. You are worthy and capable of creating something magnificent. Second, dreams do come true when you believe in them and yourself and actually take the time to create them. Third, dreaming is a great thing. It's healthy to use your imagination and to focus your attention on your dreams, hopes, and happiness for living. So it's easy to be inspired by nature. For Montgomery in her novel, Prince Edward Island was certainly a gorgeous conduit for creative genius. She was said to find peace and inspiration during her walks through nature. Like Annie, she sometimes entered the forest in deep despair and came out invigorated and happy. And we're all very similar. Most of us have the ability to spend silent time somewhere in nature and reconnect our minds and our heart to the rhythm and the beauty of our existence. Right now, as you're tuning in, consider how you are using your imagination. So, are you focusing on thoughts of the worst, ideas that heal, inspire, or serve? Are your underlying motives worthy or positive results? Do you find yourself feeling lovable, deserving, and worthy? If not, it just might be difficult to create positive results until you make changes from within. So if you want to see more stars, becoming conscious is the process of bringing to full awareness the underlying emotions, thoughts, motives, and intentions that govern behavior. Getting the love you want by Dr. Harville Hendricks has that analogy, which can help to understand our consciousness. So in the daytime, we can't see the stars. We talk as if they come out at night. Even though they are there all the time, we also underestimate the sheer number of stars. We look up at the sky, we see a smattering of dim stars, and assume that's all that's there. But when we travel far away from city lights, we see the sky strewn with stars and are overwhelmed by the brilliance of the heavens. But it's only when we study astronomy that we learn the entire truth. The hundreds of thousands of stars that we see on a clear, moonless night in the country are only a fraction of the stars in our universe. And many of the points of light that we assume to be stars are, in fact, entire galaxies. So it is with the unconscious mind, the orderly, logical thoughts of our conscious mind are but a thin veil over our unconscious, which is active and functioning all the time. So most of us are trained to look at ourselves in a way that is similar to our observations of the universe during the daytime. We know we have a few issues, call them stars, that come out occasionally or at night, but we don't pay attention to them when we can't see them or understand them. Simply put, many of us aren't fully aware of our thoughts and our intentions as we come to realize that there is much more to us, just like there's much more to our universe than a few of the stars seen in the daytime. We have a greater ability to heal. And I'm not just talking about diseases here. This healing is on many levels. So Thomas Neal, he was a general for the Union during the Civil War. He actually said, "Of those who say nothing, few are silent." And the same idea is the reality of the other person lies not in what he reveals to you, but in what he cannot reveal to you. So therefore, if you would understand him and listen not to what he says, but rather what he does not say. That's a poet, Kahlil Gibran. So in our contact with others, we tend to focus primarily on the attention, on the information we consciously transmit and absorb. But many falsely assume that if we haven't said it, we haven't communicated it. And that might seem reasonable, but it simply isn't true. Why? Because much of what we communicate is actually nonverbal. 90% of our communication can be transmitted without words. If we get stuck focusing on the words we hear or say, we might miss the point. And unless we get the point, we might actually have trouble understanding, loving, and getting along with others. Often we send and we receive conflicting messages. I might say, or even you, "I love you" to our family member or a loved one, but if our actions communicate something different, those we love will not feel what's being said, because what we feel is more powerful than what we hear. Our actions can become the predominant form by which we actually communicate our love. Often, we're not honest when we communicate. We profess love to others consciously when inside our minds we're actually judgmental, angry, or even unkind. We think we're hiding our negative intentions, our hatred, or anger, but in reality, we aren't hiding anything. All of what we communicate, even the hidden data in our deep compartments within our minds, actually gets transmitted. So, if you associate with others that lack healthy and functional communication, go back to your intentions. Most of the time, those who struggle to communicate effectively and their relationships have issues loving and accepting of themselves. So when we can't be honest with ourselves about our fears and our past and our dreams or our truth, we are not happy. And the consequences actually ripple into our ability to communicate love in our relationships. So to communicate clearly and non-verbally, you can blend a drop each of basil and clary sage. You can apply it to the temples, but the affirmation should be, I know I am loved. I see it in everyone around me. I communicate clearly and surrender to my truth that everyone is loving and, more importantly, lovable. So, once there was a man, let's call him Sam. And Sam was struggling immensely with his marriage and his pocketbook, right? So he was fired from his job. His home went into foreclosure. His wife wanted a divorce. So while his entire world seemed to be falling down around him, he wondered why his years of positive affirmations and visualizations were mounting towards such a seemingly negative drama. So he ponders, why am I creating exactly the opposite of what I want? That's a good, and more importantly, it's an important question that many ask after learning and applying the law of attraction. A theory that basically describes how like attracts like and how positive thinking attracts positive results and vice versa. However, there's actually a deeper reason Sam attracted the challenges he faced. Sam came from a broken home and he grew up in poverty, often wondering where his next meal would come from. He married a woman with a similar background, and because of the challenges of his youth, deep down, Sam believed he didn't deserve to receive abundance or joy in his life. And this ingrained perception left Sam attracting situations where he would subconsciously validate his beliefs that he somehow wasn't privileged enough to receive the blessings that he prayed for and attempted to manifest on a regular basis. It's like looking through the rear view mirror of the conscious unconscious in a crazy way. I guess that's how I'd explain that. So, generally speaking, oftentimes when the struggle to create abundance in our lives, whether it's a great flow of money or more love in our relationships, hitting feelings of being less than others or undeserving of blessings and goodness leaves us unknowingly sabotaging our success or simply not attracting it. So a blend of 4 drops wild orange, 3 drops frankincense, 2 drops cinnamon bark, and 1 drop of rose diffused or applied on the back of the hands or the neck. Breathe in deeply, and you can also rub this on the bottoms of your feet to accept wealth and abundance in all areas of your life. So some affirmations for you are, I choose to live healthy and happily ever after. Sounds like a fairy tale novel, but if you keep manifesting and saying and shifting the energy vibrations into the desire and your beliefs, that's what the affirmations are meant to do. Here's another one. Wealth flows easily and effortless to me. I celebrate my greatness and I'm deserving of all that is good. I joyfully contribute to the goodness of the planet. I fulfill my commitments and responsibility confidently and with ease. Others appreciate and respect me. Or I am important. All of those affirmations are actually great. Choose the one that actually resonates with you. So, the law of attraction is this. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Dr. Wayne Dyer in The Power of Intention actually stated that. But he also said most people's mistake in trying to apply the law of attraction is they want things. They demand things. But God doesn't work that way. It's all about allowing. So sometimes in order to attract the very thing we want, we need to change something within ourselves so that we can become the kind of person and energy that will attract our greatest wishes. Because deep personal change can be brought about through personal trials and challenges. And it's not uncommon for people who seek something new in their life to unknowingly manifest personal struggles as part of their learning process on the road or the curve to self-transformation. And we often can misjudge our circumstances or other life challenges as failures and further evidence of trouble. But in fact, sometimes it's ill circumstances that are the sign of personal transformation. So we have to change our thinking about the challenge. So sharing, these are some teachings from Lao Tzu when he describes how to effectively work with the law of attraction. And Wayne Dyer actually followed his lead, and he teaches that those who want to know the truth of the universe should adopt 4 basic virtues. So the first one is reverence for all life. And this manifests as unconditional love and respect for oneself and all other beings. That includes the elemental worlds as well, the imagination, spirit, space, along with a highway. That's what I would call it, the etheric. But okay, and sincerity. This is virtues that manifest as honesty, simplicity, faithfulness. This gentleness. So gentleness is the virtue that manifests as kindness, consideration for others, and sensitivity to spiritual truths. And supportiveness, this shows up as service to others without expectation or reward. So if somebody's gifting you something, truly, they expect nothing in return. You're like giving them the support they need, the groundedness for them to feel safe and protected, to know they matter, basically. So many religions, cultures, and even great teachers share similar philosophies. And it's interesting that these same philosophies hold up in studies on human behavior and are values that define happy homes, successful marriages, along with productive businesses. And it seems that those who succeed in all areas of life naturally share all, if not most, of these values. So to get what you really want, or what we want, or even mostly need, we need to be searching inside our hearts and our minds for personal shifts that bring us to forgiveness, acceptance, unconditional love, and service. And knowing this, it just might be easier to see why, for some, it's a bit more challenging to apply the law of attraction. So define success with intention. And as you seek to apply the law of attraction or the laws of attention into your life, look at ways you can find success, creating a limitless future of joy and endless possibilities that are actually good. First, realize that your energy field is complex and takes into account a broad variety of data or information, including the energy of your family's belief and traditions, which are often part of your genetic patterning or your blueprint. Your quantum psychology, which consists of your mental and emotional makeup, including your belief systems, your desires, fears, and your self-definition, along with your spiritual goals or your divine purpose. But all too often, conscious desires conflict with this complex and powerful energy source that you hold within your body and your mind. Resolution of the conflict comes through self-discovery and personal growth, which is a lifelong process. This isn't something that you just wake up overnight and you actually tune into, right? Now, Mother Nature, in the form of essential oils, besides the vast transformation and change that always exists there, can fuel the process of meditation and self-discovery necessary for personal success. So here are 6 steps that you can apply to the bottoms of your feet to help you find success with a lot of intention. So express your stored emotions. You can use cypress, eucalyptus, and wild orange to free up your thoughts and to express your tongue. Uncover healthy desires, fears, and beliefs. You can use basil, geranium, lavender to encourage healthy exploration. To discover your worthiness, frankincense, lemon, and fennel will clear and open your mind. Find your motive, your real motive. Rose, melissa, and citrus bliss promote energy and vitality to actually move forward. Harness destructive habits to consistent, uplifting daily living. And who doesn't want that? Oregano, lavender, marjoram, they add balance and consistency to life. Choose to love, forgive, and serve one another. Lime, rosemary, and ylang-ylang actually promote a peaceful and happy feelings. So different essential oils, just pick the one that actually resonates with you and you can feel a vibratory shift or vibration. So think about this. If you were to hold up a clear bottle of purified water and add a cup of dirt, what would the water look like? Murky, right? Would it make your water more clear and clean if you added a fresh cup of distilled water to it? No. So it is with manifesting. When you add the good stuff, the positive thoughts, affirmations, and consistent meditations to a system that's already polluted with limiting emotions, fears, beliefs, and attitudes, you're diluting the situation. Resolution comes from cleaning out the system, which involves self-awareness, lots of self-expression, full transformation, and so much more. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simplex. Albert Einstein. It's a great secret of living happily, realizing goals, projects, purpose, including the missions of our lives, in an uncomplicated yet effective and prevailing fashion, while holding on to essential details and eliminating the unnecessary. The simplest things are often the truest. Writer Richard Bach. So make it simple may come down to living a few basic true principles. Utilizing essential oils can be used individually, diffused, applied behind your ears, while reflecting on your new feelings. Maintain focus. So keep your eye on the ball. Indecision breeds procrastination, and that you create huge actions. You can only hit what you aim at. So if you're a hunter, you always sight in your gun before hunting. Your goal should be no different. It requires focus to hit them. So to gain focus, here's some essential oils to consider. Cassia, lime, geranium, or lavender. These oils are grounding and help somebody transition out of denial and move forward in a simple fashion. The biggest thing is, though, you have to use them, right? Be honest. Always. Nothing will make your life more complicated than lying to yourself or to others. And facing circumstances squarely might seem challenging, but it's the simplest way to live a healthy and happy life. Remember, honesty is what you say to yourself and not always what you say to others. Do you like yourself long enough? You may come to believe it. So consider trying frankincense or wild orange to promote honesty within yourself. Prepare. Everything you need or want has a way of showing up as soon as you are all ready for it. The sooner you're prepared, the faster you'll realize results. And some essential oils in the doTERRA line, like Purify, lemon, or basil, They actually work to clear out the toxic fog in your system. Fog that prevents you from keeping it simple. So try one of these blends or blend all three to help you talk less and accomplish more. Have faith. So hopeful wishing, it's an excellent starter, but not so good finisher. It is faith coupled with perseverance that leads you across the finish line. Faith comes after hope. It's believing without doubt. And you can experience or experiment with myrrh or sandalwood, my favorites, to balance your head and your heart and bring you home to truth, which ultimately leads to faith. Promoting faith, not fear. So you can blend 4 drops sandalwood, 2 drops coriander, 1 drop ginger, 1 drop wild orange within a carrier base of your choice. I like jojoba. There's also fractionated coconut oil. And go ahead and place it in a glass roller bottle. And you can wear this as a fragrance or inhale from the bottle as needed. And some affirmations like, I am full of faith, faith in my future, faith that I am on a journey meant only for me, I am positive and full of energy that radiates from me and positively affects others. Keep it positive. Negative energy, feedback, and focus complicate everything. And the 3 things you have full power over are your thoughts, words, and your actions. So use them for positivity. You can try wild orange, bergamot, vetiver for women, or white fir for men to stroke positive thoughts and diminish negative thinking. My favorite, stay educated. I try to read a book a week, believe it or not. But you have to realize knowledge is the key that unlocks the door to your dreams. Your individual success will depend upon increasing your intelligence. And remember that all education is self-acquired. No one can really teach you without your permission to let the words in. So you need to use it. So essential oils like lemon, peppermint, sandalwood support integrating knowledge into that space. Be courageous. Breaking out of the old, complicated patterns takes a lot of guts. So if your purpose is worthy and your pursuit is sincere, with bravery, you can establish behavior patterns, thoughts, and choices that actually feed simple, happy, and successful lives. To support courage, create a blend of essential oils mixing 3 drops Roman chamomile along with sandalwood, 2 drops lavender, 4 drops helichrysum, and go ahead and place this blend under your ears, along your jawline, and on your lower back. And this helps the mind quiet the fear, open the heart to simple truth, and supports moving forward. Go the extra mile. We've all heard this one, right? So when you're spiritually compelled to reach out and serve, which we do all the time or to one another, do it with high definition, like high sound. So it's a universal truth that leads to victory. And what you put out comes back to you 100-fold. So serve and go the extra mile. And you can utilize geranium, grapefruit, immortelle, or white fir to support you in this process. So what you need to understand is essential oils actually carry different vibrational earths. So that's why I tuned into different oils through all of these. Drop the ego. Woo! You cannot become a master of anything until you become the master of your own ego. And while believing in yourself is important and it's healthy, but it makes sense of the self by competing or acting and believing you're better than others. It will complicate your life in ways you can't even imagine. So if your success is ego-based, your failure is imminent. Love others instead and aspire to race only against yourself. And you can use essential oils, 3 drops each of cypress, frankincense, and lavender along the forehead and the neck. And you can actually apply or draw a T on your forehead, stroking the forehead across and down along the nose. This will actually help clear the mind and calm the heart. Be willing to work, right? With all thy get going. Virgil James. He's a psychologist, and he used to repeat that saying. So healthy self-esteem grows with good old-fashioned hard work. And anyone who's truly hit this mark will tell you that dreams aren't made without it. Frankincense is a wonderful oil to move you to honest and doable action. But bottom line, you've got to move. So we create complex lives and inherit difficult problems when we defy the straightforward truths that make for simple success. So as we work to improve our lives, it would be service to evaluate our ability to live these truths. It might seem like an overwhelming list, and if that's the case, just pick one of them and spend a week focusing on it. So how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So it is with living a balanced, healthy, and happy life. Simplify the path to success by making one principle of success a part of your everyday life. And over time, you'll create what you want by adding in more principles, just one simple bite at a time. So if you need assistance in boosting courage, you can blend 3 drops of fennel, 4 drops thyme, 1 drop ginger with a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil, and apply this behind your ears and the backs of your knees. And an affirmation might be, I am joyous and full of courage, or I look to the future, live in the present, and let go of the past, right? The past is the rearview mirror. So, with all of that, be sure to check out the corridor of my Musing Club. I have a venue of courses to start you on your journey, the balance of being, soliciting solitude, and of course I do cowrie shell divinations, which are available for you to schedule. And along with that, I also have my novel, Changing Faces, which was a huge release for me and all my relationship faux pas. So if you enjoyed this musing show, please share so I know that you enjoyed it and you want to hear more of it. And if there's something that you would like me to muse about, go ahead and comment. And thanks for joining me and being the stunner that you are. Be grateful this week as we just passed Thanksgiving, and be the light that radiates in your spirit. I will see you next week. Thanks, as always, for joining me.